Alright. Okay, the year is 0086. It has been 6 years since the defeat of the Principality of Xeon by the Earth Federation. It has been a little over 6 years since Jane Bell Hunt had been discharged and put into um, discharged from active duty and put into work as
Discharge?
a MS instructor. Not discharged, but
Removed from
not.
combat rosters.
Yes. She has not seen the front lines since then, and during the D-Laws incident, she was out of commission for family-related issues. Um, but that as an MS instructor, she's still able to pilot mobile suits. Like right now, she's currently 3,000 feet off the ground, piloting a young 16-year-old Celery Day training. A young 16-year-old Celery Day, a top student at the Jamatov Institute for Higher Education, aka the California Military Institute. You are both currently in an Ashimar, a test Ashimar designated the Donut, Doughnut, painted big bolded letters on the side. The Ashimar itself is white, and to make up for the double cockpit, there's sort of a little bulbous, like a little bulb on the
Okay. You said
front
to make up?
to make up for the fact that it's a test suit. There's a little bulb on the front to incorporate the second pilot. It's a awkward little mobile suit. It's very clear this was not the intention, but with the production of the Ashimar units and transformable mobile suits, it was a necessary uh, innovation, let's say. Uh, you can tell, Hunt can tell, that the second cockpit is just
I
from a
can
Gem
tell.
2. That the second cockpit is just the cockpit from the Gem 2 put in the Ashimar.
Hmm.
Alright. Uh, as you are flying in the sky, Hunt currently has the controls, and Celery looks very stressed. She has never been in the air before. You doubt she has ever ridden in an airplane, much less a transformable mobile suit, and she doesn't seem to know what she's doing.
He doesn't what?
Seem to know what she's doing.
First thing that goes through my mind is, aren't you supposed to have a lot of training before even getting into the cockpit on what everything does?
Yes, yes. She knows the basics. She knows how to pilot a mobile suit. Um, but being in the air is a new experience for her, and because of a few strings pulled, let's say that she probably wasn't fully prepared for this trip in the first
Is a few
place.
string pulled?
A few strings pulled. She probably wasn't prepared for this trip in the first place.
And I said okay to this?
You didn't really have a. You did have a choice, but it was sort of pressure, I suppose, is the best way of putting it.
I'm gonna roll for narrative points.
Alright, you go roll for narrative points.
I have, because you need to know how to fly a plane first before you could fly a
Yes.
transformable mobile suit.
She knows how to pilot a mobile suit, is the thing.
No, she needs to know how to pilot
Yes.
a plane.
No, yes.
So we're in the plane. I ask her, how many hours of sim flight do you have?
Oh, I want to say about 10, 15. Not a whole lot.
My eyebrow raises.
I mean, that's enough to know the basics, though, right? I mean, well, already so far up here, and oh, geez, is that the ground? You see her like looking out, because the Astromar's a little bit of a 360.
I sigh. Okay then. I have a master control, and you have secondary controls. You can control all the plane, but if anything goes wrong, uh, I can still pull the stick.
Oh,
Let's try that.
wait, I'm gonna be flying.
Yes, Celery.
Yes.
You're saying?
Oh, I mean, don't you think? Okay, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Just remember the sim training. It's just an airplane.
All right. You see Celery nervously like jostle on the controls, and there's a little bit of turbulence as she begins, but eventually she
Jostles
strands.
on the controls.
Jostle, not jostles, but nervously fidgets with them, and then eventually she strands out. The Ashimar eventually strands out. Okay, okay. I think I got this. I think. Okay, I don't know how. It's gotta be awkward to turn this thing. It's not exactly like a fighter.
Let's just go through some simple
So I say that
Simple
again.
banking for now. Let's just go through some simple banking for now.
All right, all right. Uh, and she does so. She tries to bank, and she's actually a little successful again. When it comes to, it's awkward. And you jostle around in your mobile suit a little bit. It's very clear she's new to this, but she is able.
Is it your internet?
M- Maybe it's my internet. Is it your internet? Maybe it's my internet. You're right. So it's either your internet or it's my internet.
What do you have your sensitivity at?
My sensitivity. Well, here's the thing. Maybe this doesn't pick up on Discord, but when I do the mic test, it's fine for me.
Yeah, because I have mine at like 42.
My sensitivity is at input. I actually do not know what my sensitivity is at. Oh, automatically determined. Mine's at 60. Should I push
Hmm.
it down?
How far away is your mic?
It's again when I do the test, like it comes out clear. I am about, I want to say, like 5 inches.
Low serenity. Hmm. It's all very strange.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have Celery just go through the motions of simple maneuvers. I just want her to practice that.
Yeah. Um. Okay. And right. And because let me get something up. Alright. That's Jane. Okay. At first it was awkward, especially when it came to banking and turning. She didn't know exactly how to turn, and it definitely, you lost some altitude.
Definitely.
But eventually, she got the hang of it, just barely. Again, it's very clear this is the first time ever flying a mobile suit, uh, and ever flying anything for real. Um, if everything was under, I imagine if everything was under Hunt's command, she would not be here in the first place, but
Literal child.
literal child. Um, and as you're doing this, I think I got the hang of this. You hear a little bleep, um, and on your headset.
Go for a Reverend Actual. Hello?
Hello, sorry. Yeah, you hear the bleep, and it's like, oh, Lieutenant.
Yes?
You there? All right.
Yes?
Yeah. So something came up. You're gonna have to go in for a short landing.
Copy that.
Yep.
RTB.
All right. Copy. See ya.
Celery, we're cutting this short. Something happened back at base.
Oh. Anything bad?
I don't know yet, but they want us back.
All right. Should I be landing
I'll handle the
or?
landing.
Oh, thank God. You see, like, her visually, like, not lose all her tension and be like, oh my God, thank God.
I go in for the landing.
You go in for the landing. The thing about Reverend Base, it's kind of in the middle of a desert and a field. It's not like it's full desert. There's a lot of grassy hills and such. Um, but it's what matters is it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. And so it takes you a minute to get back to base, and then you see,
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, it takes you a minute to get back to base, and you see, you see Reverend. It's not a very large base, um, and in fact, it's mostly just blocked off by basic barbed wire fencing. It consists of three main hangars, a few barracks off to the side, and in the middle of everything is a large glass building, the main center building. It consists of, it's about 10 stories high and consists of a radio tower off to its side, which is where ground control is. And then
Coming in for landing.
Yep. All right. What? You hear another little beep. Run race clear, Lieutenant, and then and then it cuts off.
I go in for the landing.
Yep. Landing with an Ashimar is a little awkward because
It's a strange plane.
It's a strange plane. It doesn't have a landing gear. To land, you literally have to untransform the mobile suit, from my knowledge, and so you kind of have. Oh, what?
It doesn't have a what?
Oh, so what I was saying is that the Ashimar doesn't have a proper landing gear, and so to land, you have to literally untransform the suit before you hit the ground. And so, but you've piloted Ashimars for about a year now, since they became more common than they were in the first year of production.
Do I have to make a check?
Yeah, let's make a check, because this is still an awkward landing. It's not like landing a plane, which Hunt is used to. Um,
Like a
Again,
real plane.
a real plane, an actual plane. No, this is the machine. This is the thingamabob.
Any negative modifiers?
Again, Hunt's been piloting Ashamars for about a year. Like, nowhere as much as she's piloted the Gym series, but I'd say a negative one.
Okay, then. So that is nope, 6 successes.
Oh yeah.
Because I already
This
have a negative. I have a standing -1 for poison MS stats.
oh my. Oh right, yes. So it's a little awkward. You kind of feel your knee buckle because of your injuries, but everything's all right. You've done this a million times before. You hope to do this a million times after. You land the donut safe and sound. Um, it's a
Start
sil.
rolling my shoulder.
Hmm. And then you position yourself in the hangar where both of you can safely get out and leave the mobile suit. And as Celery's leaving from the hangar, she sort of waves you off. Thank you for today, Miss Hunt.
I give her an eyebrow.
Well, it's just you're the only MS instructor I've had, and it's always a pleasure. I don't want to be rude.
You cut out. You don't. You start it.
Oh,
I raise the eyebrow.
she raised. Okay. It's just you're the only MS instructor I've had, and one of the only at Reverend, and it's just an honor. Uh Thank you,
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Oh yes, Lieutenant. I'm sorry. She does like a half-ass salute. Despite
She
being
does.
yeah, despite being in a military school, this is still a little awkward for her.
When were you enrolled?
Uh, a while, but I've mostly been taking regular classes. I've never done any of the proper. Uh, Anyhow, I have to get going. My driver's here.
Yeah.
Probably.
See it. Yeah. See it, kid.
And she runs off. Um,
I
and
go to get changed out of my normal suit. Of
yep. Did you have the helmet on?
course, that's what you're supposed to have on. Why
Gotcha.
wouldn't I wear my helmet?
Got
It
gotcha.
prevents me from breaking my neck.
Just checking. Um, God, the so as you
I didn't
go,
have the glass down though.
yeah, as you go to get changed, you're going to the locker
So as
room.
I go,
Yeah, as you go to get changed, you're heading to the locker rooms. Um, you're stopped, actually. You're stopped by three individuals. One, Afla Mateo, and his two goons, who you never bother to remember the names or faces, really. And he's sort of. Do you try and avoid him when you see him? You're outside right now, going to the changing rooms.
Afla's a colonel, correct?
Yes.
I salute.
Alright. Afla salutes back. Ah, Hunt. How
You
was.
cut out.
Oh. Lieutenant. How was today's training?
You know, awfully green.
Hmm. And that celery kid, she's treating you well.
Uh, aren't you supposed to ask the other way around?
I'm just checking in on my instructor, Lieutenant. Or The bases instructor, I should say.
I start to scowl.
Hey, I'm just making sure that everything is alright. You know, about that job offering is all I'm saying. We could really use you in the Titan Regiment. It's straight pay upgrade, well, anything you need.
I believe we've already discussed this.
Yes, but I just have a hard time believing someone would not take this opportunity when presented to them. It seems foolish to me.
Perhaps I'm a fool.
Perhaps you are. And he sort of gives you a side eye as after that comment. Well, I'll quit bugging you. You be on your way. Okay, Lieutenant? Just check in on that family for me, okay? He pats you on the back. Or he attempts to, I suppose.
I get on with my day. What is? Yeah, I rebuff him.
Yeah. He,
Who did he say for me to check on again?
your family.
Oh, that's a threat if I've ever heard one.
Mm-hmm. You go to the changing rooms, I imagine.
Yep, I take off the normal suit and I hang it up.
Uninterrupted, you just take off the normal suit. Uh, you just take off the normal suit, you're in your regular EFF attire.
I have my uniform underneath.
Yep. It's actually interesting because of the heat in the California desert in the summer. Because it's winter, you're wearing the regular uniform, but in the summer they switch to the arid uniform with the shorts and the short sleeve.
The weather reminds me of home.
Mm-hmm. I imagine Hunt that they also use the same uniform. It's universal. As Hunt leaves, she's greeted with.
I'm muttering as I'm changing fucking groundies.
As Hunt leaves, she's sort of stopped by a man in a headset in a sort of less official but still military jacket, like a leather jacket. Uh, this is clearly somebody from ground control. Oh, Lieutenant. He salutes.
I look at the rank.
This is a junior officer, somebody below your rank.
Corporal then.
Yep.
Corporal?
Yes.
I return the salute.
Yes. I was the person who called you in earlier. You're needed by the general.
I
She didn't say why.
what's the general's name? Where is that?
Matthias May.
What does General May need? I start to walk.
She didn't say, but it was something involving you.
Very well, lead the way.
Yes, she's just in her office.
I start to make my way there.
Yes, it's on the top floor. You have to go through the entire building. It's relatively nice, surprisingly. At least the main operations is. The hangars are a little dingy, but the main building itself is relatively well furnished, but empty. Reverend isn't a huge base, especially after the war, and so there's a lot of empty cubicles, a lot of even like empty floors as you go up and make your way to the general's office. As you head in, the office is decently nice looking. It's not like fancy or gauvish, but it's a well kept room, and you see a older woman with reading glasses, the kind that wrap around the head with a little band, just doing like a stack of paperwork. Who's there?
I snap to attention salute. Lieutenant Jane Bellhunt and reporting.
Ah, Lieutenant Sai, at ease. She
I drop the salute.
waves her off. Please have a seat.
I take a
There's
seat.
Yeah, it's a decently nice little chair, leather. Uh, I've been meaning to talk to you about a few things regarding the future of Reverend, and considering you're one of the oldest members here, the longest standing, I should say, uh, I thought it would be more appropriate to talk to you about this issue directly.
Well,
Yes, I'm getting older, Jane. I have lived through one of the greatest wars our our species really has ever seen, and I'm tired. I I'm going to retire within the year, Jane. And
what are you planning on doing afterwards?
oh, I'm not sure. I have a grandchild. Maybe I'll go back to my daughter, make sure she's okay. I have a life to go back to, but that's not what's important. You do realize the implications of my leaving, yes?
More or less.
I don't know who to leave the base to, but it is more than likely this will no longer be a Federation base by the time of my leave. I. She sort of bridges her nose. I'm not going to fight another war. I don't want to. This conflict between the Titans and the Federation, it's not one of my own, and it's not one I will get between of. You know my opinions on the Titan, but I can't afford to risk my life, my retirement, in another conflict.
Well,
Oh, yes?
you said retirement?
Oh, she's essentially saying, I I can see where this is heading. The tension between the Federation and the Titan Regiment. She sighs and like presses the bridge of her nose. I'm not going to get involved in another war. And I understand that without me, Reverend will most likely leave the EFF within the EFGF within the year, but this isn't my war to fight. This isn't my battle. I'd rather leave now than see the outcome.
The
The outcome.
completely understandable, ma'am.
Are you. I'm sorry for dropping the formalities, Lieutenant, but are you going to be alright?
I can request a transfer.
She nods. Alright, that's all. Uh, your permission. Sorry. That will be all, Lieutenant. Unless if you have anything that needs to be discussed with me, I've already taken so much of your time.
I get up, I salute, and I leave.
Alright. She salutes back. How's Hunt feeling right now?
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Just another day in this forsaken place.
You've known the lieutenant since you've joined. The general. You've known the general, for about 6 years now. A little over.
I think about my last commanding officer before the Barcelona
Mm-hmm.
and how long I was with them.
How long was Hunt, in the EFF before the war?
Uh, Signed up straight out of high school, so like 10 years.
Was she? So I imagine she was with the commanding officer for about 10 years.
Well, I had to go through academy and get an associate degree. So that took like 4 years. So for the 6 after that, I was stuck at Luna 2.
I see. Um, and this is what where she ends up. Uh, you look at the time. You have a little lesson with a few new recruits scheduled.
How raw are these recruits?
Um, let me pull something up real quick. That's going to happen a lot, by the way. I apologize.
No worries.
These are about senior privates. They're
Even cadets.
yes. Essentially, they've been here for a little bit, but not long enough to see. They're brand new, but they know the basics and the gist of everything. Um, and also definitely enough to get invested in the politics of the current situation.
Uh,
You're training cocky kids who think they know better than you, essentially.
Do they know my reputation?
Uh, does Hunt share that around?
Yes. I
Yeah,
have a tattoo on my back with all of my kills. I very much share
Jesus. Yes, they know. They know of Hunt's
it
reputation.
around.
Yes, most of them already know of Hunt's reputation, and there's been plenty of time where she has had to silence, a nice, somebody who got a little too loud for their own good.
Walk into the room.
Alright, you walk into the room. It's not like a classroom. Um, but essentially you see a little bit of desk lined up. You see about seven cadets.
I see.
Um, about two of them actually would be in straight black uniforms. The other three, no, the other four, the other four would be in about regular EFF attire. More summer attire too. Um,
EFGF pilots or fellow
EFGF.
space fucking groundies.
Yeah, you're training groundies.
I And I yell, so you groggety shits want to be mobile suit pilots.
You see one of the black uniforms sort of like, not holler, but he's like, well, that's what we're here for.
That remains to be seen.
He, you see that gets to him a little. He sort of like scoots back in his seat, crosses his arms.
Definitely for the groundies. But us spacies, we have to go through thousands of hours of flight time before getting our wings. Let alone being allowed to fly some of the finest machinery the Earth Federation has ever produced. If you listen up, you might just make it.
The most of the students are at detention at this point. The second you walked into the room, really, one of them's even noting everything down. But you notice that the two in the black uniforms look unimpressed.
How young are these kids?
One you'd wager is probably about early 20s. The other is probably about mid 20s, you'd say.
I ask a general question. What is the most important part of mobile suit combat?
Uh, one of them, one of the regulars, raises their hand.
I call on them.
Uh, oh, maneuverability, being able to sortie, and then you hear one of the others interrupt this, the man from the beginning, about short black hair, he interrupts and he's like, how many people you can kill?
And I say, both of you are very wrong. I take a piece of chalk. I write it up on the board. Teamwork.
You
You
see,
are,
you say,
and I say you are only effective as the pilots around you. The smallest unit in mobile suit combat is the MS team, not the individual suit.
you see, like, when you say teamwork, you
The
see,
reason why all mobile suits act in pairs no matter what.
you see again the problem student roll his eyes, but everyone else is like, oh, okay, and then writes it down. Um, well, what if our teammates suck? What if we're the only people who can get the job done?
And you train hard. Your teammates will never suck. No one who gets their wings doesn't go through this lesson.
Hmm. He sort of writes something down. I. Hmm.
I heard you were saying.
Oh, yeah, no, so I'm just pulling up my notes.
I'd pretty much just constantly always be staring at them unless I have to do a roll for something.
You gotcha. Actually, yes. What type of role would you like to do? Would you like something charisma based, most likely, either leadership, intimidation? Like, what impression are you trying to give to these students?
that I know what I'm talking about. And I've very carefully calculated this sort of speech. I've done it many times before.
Okay. Because of your rank and your reputation, I'm going to say roll two rolls. Roll one that's let me just look, leadership charm, uh, or if you want, you could also make an excuse for a different attribute if you want to. But I'd say leadership charm, and the second roll will
I know
be.
I'm very bad with people, but if I have very carefully,
I'd say leadership charm and intimidate charm.
can I get a positive modifier?
Yes, you have a plus one on both of them. Actually, plus two on leadership, plus one on intimidate.
That's a 9. Two failures.
Two failures. What happens actually is that you kind of go a little too hard on the EFGF recruits. They sort of like they're intimidated by you.
But get this. No, that was on the leadership, but on the intimidation, I got a critical success.
Okay, so actually, what happens is exactly so it still happens. So the EFGF are intimidated, um, but so are the black suits. So are these what you can only assume to be Titan recruits are also like fully attentive now. Like you have essentially like shut down their shit, and they are listening to what you're saying. But it worked a little too well because the regular recruits seem to be a little too intimidated, a little too scared of you.
Uh, I start to draw up. And I'm basing this off of my time in Odessa. I'm basically drawing up a riverside ambush.
Okay.
Classic L shape.
Uh, uh, one of the scared recruits. What? Uh, I'm sorry. What's the? Oh gosh. What's the point of the of what you're drawing at the moment, Lieutenant?
Teamwork is the most important thing in a mobile suit fight. You have to understand team tactics. I step away from the board, drawing up. Up then I have made four. I put, but I've written out Jim and Zaku's, and I've made a little picture of a river. And I go about explaining
Sorry, you're cutting out.
the principles of an L-shaped ambush. I explain the principles of an L-shaped ambush.
All right. There may be a little bit of latency, I've noticed, but let's not worry about that. Okay, yeah, so again, essentially what happens again. You seem to be getting through to the Titan recruits who are listening attentively to what you're saying. The regular recruits seem still a little lost, a little confused, but that's more so because, uh, again, they're intimidated by you, by Hunt and her reputation. They don't know how to talk to somebody like they don't know how to talk to somebody with a reputation like Hunt does. Hunt has. As the lesson ends, everyone sort of starts piling out, and then the problem kid from the beginning of class sort of stands at attention, salutes.
These.
I want to apologize for the beginning of class. I didn't realize I should have been more respectful to my superior.
That you should have.
I do have a question though.
Yes?
Why did you use the gym and Zaku in your example?
I use.
Why did you use the gym and the Zaku in your example? I mean, those suits were not going to be piloting in the first place. It seems a little old tech.
Well, it's because it's something I actually did.
Oh, his eyes sort of go wide at that. You can probably assume he's newer here than the other students.
Fresh faced.
Fresh faced.
Plus, a lot of Xeon remnants still use old Zaku's.
Remnants?
I look at him like he's 4 years out of date.
Well, I thought I thought they were all wiped out in the DLAS incident.
There are plenty of people hiding on the ass crack of nowhere with their old mobile suits that they only use once or twice every year. They're out there, and they're still very angry.
You think we'll get the chance to show him a lesson? He sort of informally says.
It's not for you or me to decide.
He sort of looks at Hunt quizzically and then leaves. The class is over, and
Fucking groundies.
yep, fucking Granny.
I hate them.
Um, yeah, after that, there's only one last thing before you can leave. Normally, you'd be getting off at this time, even though it's a little late. It's about 6 p.m. at the moment.
Today is Victory Day.
It is Victory Day. You'd actually notice that around the fort, someone has been.
It is also New
decorating.
Year's.
It's also New Year's, yes. Actually, isn't it a little past New Year's? I was
No,
thinking January 3rd.
No, that's when the war starts.
Ah. I had the two dates confused.
Very understandable.
Well, it is January 1st. I imagine New Year's was yesterday.
No, that's New Year's Eve was yesterday.
Oh, I fucking don't know how New Year's
First
works.
day of the year is New Year's.
Angsty when he learns how holidays work. News gangers when they learn what holiday. So, anyways.
Bruce Kinger's trying to understand how time works.
God. I think I've also never celebrated New Year's really, like aside from like the typical New Year's celebration at 12.
Because everyone celebrates Eve, not actual New Year's.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, it's Victory Day and New Year's. There's little decorations, nothing too fancy, but like posters and stuff hanging from the ceiling occasionally. Just something to brighten the mood. Little unprofessional, but it's also from mostly the officer corridors. And the party you see, quote unquote party, it's more of a formal get together, is at the bottom floor, and a little bit outside you can already smell some cook off. You can already smell some barbecue and
I
whatnot.
can. I adjust my hat a little bit.
Oh yes. What hat is Hunt wearing with her uniform?
The EFSFP cap.
Gotcha. All right. As you go down, as you head down, you see you already see people start to leave and everything quiet down, and most importantly, you see two individuals standing next to each other at a little table talking, discussing, and it is the exact opposites of who you'd expect to be talking to each other. It is Matthias May and Afla Mateo.
I look food and drink.
Yeah, there's a little table. If you've ever been to like an outdoor get together, there's you know what I mean. There's like a table with all the drinks. There's not a line anymore, but you can imagine there was. Uh, the food there, it's shitty barbecue. Like it's just shitty barbecue. There's like a salad as well if you want to get that. Um, and just like bagged chips. And a water cooler with that doesn't have any beer.
I look for a water. I have to drive home after this, so
Yeah, you just get a water. Does Hunt sit alone, or does she investigate any of the goings on?
I take in my surroundings.
Okay, you take in your surroundings. You see some of the new recruits shooting the shit with each other at this big table. Um, there's not a lot of them. Most of the seats are empty, right now. Um, you see some of the officers sort of more calmly reserved at the further ends, like the outreaches of the little gathering that's been going on. Um, some of them are playing poker. Uh, you see one table's playing Uno. Uh, and then you see, again, you see the other scene of Matthias and Afla talking to each other. They seem to be in a serious discussion as they're sort of leaning against the table. You see Matthias, or General May, is not very happy with the conversation, and Colonel Matteo is very cocky right now. But
I
when
try
is
to
he not?
eavesdrop.
Okay, eavesdrop. Roll me a what would this be? I want to say
Stealth. And
poise stealth, but how do you eavesdrop? I should say. This will decide.
I take up a position near them, but far enough away I can listen, but out of their direct lines of sight.
Okay, I'm going to actually say keen stealth, so the exact same roll.
Eight successes.
They do not notice you. You sort of. I imagine that in this little outside gathering, there's a few tents and pillars. You stand behind one of those as you listen. Um, and you sort
Eating,
of hear
eating my shitty barbecue.
eating your shitty barbecue. Um, it's not great. There's also cake, but it's like stale. Anyways, you overhear the two of them.
Never like sweets.
And would I be getting a promotion in this arrangement? And you hear General May sigh. I suppose so, yes. That's a little above my pay grade, but I could just, I could recommend you, and you just hear the ons and offs. I you hear like a visible like sigh coming from General May. What are your plans with Fort Reverend after my leave? And you hear the colonel sort of sort of chuckle to himself. Well, I'm going to have to be getting rid of all of the outliers already. I mean, if this is going to be a Titan base, then there's no need for them. I'm a little disappointed I couldn't wrangle in the good lieutenant, but I'm sure she'll come
How
around
is
eventually. Yep.
how is Pally saying that? How is Pally saying that?
Ha- I'm sure she'll
Like
come.
tone wise.
I'm sure she'll come around eventually. He's a little cocky. He says it. He's always cocky, yes, but like he's definitely saying that in a smug way. It's
Yeah, all I can think is jokes on him.
well, and when will you be taking your leave? Uh, and then the general sort of sighs. Uh, within the next few months, I can't afford with my current mental state. She just sort of picks at her food, which is weird because you have never seen General May like this before. Normally, she is more upstanding than Hunt. Like more, don't talk shit to me, don't talk down to me. But right now, she is in a complete state of like being cornered, essentially, defeat, essentially. I'll
Is she being coerced in any way?
You don't know. I think as long as I get to leave and just very well. I'll talk to my I'll talk to command and we'll see about getting the transfer as smooth as possible. Uh, and then you see Polly go to shake her hand. She does not shake it. She simply stands up and leaves from the table.
I guess it's time to beat a speedy retreat before I'm noticed.
Mm-hmm. You very slightly leave. I imagine you don't do anything else at the quote unquote party.
I throw away my garbage.
Yeah, you throw it away in the little bin, and you start heading to the parking lot where you're. What type of car does Hunt drive?
A shitty little car.
Have you seen like the one in the pocket, the car with like the glass window, like where the entire front is just the window? I imagine it would be like a shitty little modern car though, something more akin to what we'd see. It's also on Earth and not. It's not a weird. It's not a weird spacey car. You hop
Yeah,
in.
they're all electric.
Oh yeah. They're all powered by Minovsky generators. little nuclear power in every vehicle. Anyways, you drive your shitty little diesel car, and it's about a 3 hour drive home from Reverend.
Fuck my life.
And that's going on the highway where you go like 65.
Where am I?
You're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Great.
You fly mobile suits and test weaponry here. You cannot be anywhere near a civilian, in any civilian buildings. You have like a few mile radius before you hit anything remotely close to civilization. Anyways, as you're on your way home, you have to pass by this little urban area. Essentially, there's this little urban area you have to pass by. Um, it's like I'd want to say like downtown, like a downtown city, right? It's like brick buildings all bunched together, nothing higher than like 5 stories. Um, and this is where you see a traffic jam, which is just great because it's fucking 7:30 p.m. and there's a traffic jam. About
This is California.
mm-hmm, on the
I start to
fucking
smoke.
8-lane highway. You roll down the window, start to smoke. What does Hunt like get the cheap, shitty cigarettes, or does she like import spacey, like the good Space Noid cigarettes?
The Space Night cigarettes are worse.
That's true. Von Braun cigarettes would be all right, but like
I used standard Art Army issue.
standard army issue, okay. You barely feel the buzz. It's not the law of tobacco. It's not that great. There's no flavor either, and um, as you look out to the traffic, you notice smoke. Actually, not like black smoke, but a white phosphorus-like smoke coming in the coming from the distance, and you see over the head of one building a Zaku head. Um,
Oh, what?
a Zaku head, but you immediately tell afterwards that this isn't a Zaku. This is that the mobile suit you see over this building is not a Zaku. It is a
Isaac.
Hyzak. So I just have a shit memory. That's anyways. I have it in my notes. Anyways, so you see the Hyzak over the building. It's clearly a Federation mobile suit. You don't hear anything, but actually you do. You hear the sounds of a crowd like chanting and cheering, and not cheering but yelling essentially. And as you get closer, as traffic gets closer, you start to recognize like crowds of people like rushing in, and you see a few military police alongside local police sort of trying to like back them off. It's a full blown riot essentially that's going on in this part of town. About 100, 200 people.
Great, just what I needed.
You see two Hyzaks, one on each block, blocking the protesters from leaving. One of them has essentially what is a gas canister grenade launcher to sort of quell the protest. Um, it's not used, and it's much smaller than any like proper mobile suit weapon. And you sort of you see the military police sort of beat on the protesters as you go by, and you see the signs they're holding, like justice for a name you've never heard of. You see the AU. You see a bunch of AU sympathizing signs. And as you see this, it's just the entire riot as you pass by. The traffic settles down. You have to take an alternative route, and as you leave, you hear small arms fire off in the
I also have to
distance.
go meet my plant.
Mm-hmm. You get into your part of the city, much calmer. No military violence going on at the moment. You stop by a cafe shop about like I want to say half a mile away from your home. You are here for a reason. You know that reason. I know that reason. Um, and you see in the corner a man who you immediately recognize but don't stare at. About a man in a no hat, about shorter hair, sort of a buzz cut, and a jean jacket. He's reading a newspaper, sipping on what you can only imagine is a very already cold black coffee. And then you
I,
have your own table.
I take the table behind him. I sit down.
He sort of sips his cup. You hear a little. You hear him say, "How's the weather been?"
Oh, you know. I look out the window. Could always be better.
Anything? Any new? Any,
Forecasts.
what?
Any new forecasts just to keep the
Yeah,
metaphor going?
yeah. Any new forecast?
Seems that
Sorry, you're cutting
to
out.
imply I use code to imply that Reverend is flipping, and I say thunderstorms, surprise thunderstorms inbound next week.
Hmm. I always thought it was gonna be cloudy, but he sort of sips back on his coffee. Any gifts to leave? He's essentially asking you if there's if you're leaving a plant right now, like if you're going to plant something and he needs to pick it up. He's going to check anyways, so
Wait, what?
he's asking if you have like any message or anything else to say or any package to deliver.
Let's. I'm just trying to think of the keep of the metaphor. And I say the weatherman asked the same question again today.
You hear him chuckle. He's looking around the cafe, making sure everything's alright, but it's very quiet. There's not a lot of people here, and the only other people is about a small family. On the other side.
The thing we did discuss earlier will be ready, right?
Whenever you need it, whenever the forecast gets, whenever it gets windy, yes. And both both for you
I nod
and
to that.
both for you and your weather team. He sort of he chuckles to himself. He does not know how to keep the metaphor going. Well, I'll be off. Well, he doesn't say anything actually. He just packs up his stuff and he leaves.
Think to myself, are Americans always like this? All these Americans.
Goddamn Americans.
Shitty little highways. I really do hate this place.
It's not great. Even the cafe is very American. It's not like a French cafe. It's like a shitty Starbucks.
I, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should have asked to go to Torrington instead. Oh yeah, you wouldn't understand that. That's the
No,
base they start out in.
sorry, I know. I was just having acid
Stardust
reflux.
memory.
No, no, I know. But yeah. No, sorry. I was joking on something.
Oh great. My
Yeah.
DM's fucking dying.
Uh, you get back in your car. It takes a little bit of a walk. You could actually, I imagine, if you parked in a parking garage, you could actually probably just walk back home. Your choice.
I could walk home.
Again, it's only like half a mile.
Yeah, but then I'd have to walk back to the car in the morning. That's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's true. You get back in the car, you decide to park it somewhere closer before you head on home. There's not really any official parking for your building, but there's a convenient little place. Something
We
Hunt.
have the alley in the back.
Mm-hmm. Something Hunt also hates about America: the fucking parking, I imagine.
You know, I'm used to that. I grew up in a city, so
I see. Um, all right then. Then yeah, you just park somewhere, in the back of the alley. You probably put on the little shades in the front.
I get out of my car and I enter home.
You enter home. The place it's dying down. It's 8. It's closing time. You see Arl at the counter, looking very tired after a day's work. Um, you can only imagine Farah is probably left to herself but not unsupervised, as the stairway between your apartment and the restaurant is open, and so if anything happened, he would be able to reach her. Uh, the cafe itself, it's called it's called Colton's Brunchin, with a very goofy looking sign out on the front. It's something you'd expect. It's something you'd expect from Arl Colton. It's from Colton.
Americans.
Yeah, yeah. You Hunt married one, though albeit probably from societal pressure, but still. Uh, he's cleaning out a glass, like showing people out. Oh, Jane, I didn't see you there. He waves her off. Waves her.
I walk over. I lean against the counter.
Is
Ah,
oh,
everything. How was your day today?
same old, same old. Nothing new in the mail. Just same old guest. It's been a long day. People really like to get their lunch on Victory Day. I guess I shouldn't be complaining about work, though. That's how we make our ends meet, huh?
Better than things being dead, I guess.
Much better. How's how's everything at Reverend?
I think about how much I should share, and I decide not to share everything. Oh, you know everything. Giving a cadets hard time, like always.
He nods. You see him sort of look out the
This
window.
little shit today had the gall to question if I knew what I was talking about.
You see him chuckle at that, like it cheers him up after a long day, and he's like, "Yeah, gosh, yeah, that is a mistake." You give him what for?
Well, you know it. I start to smile.
You see him smile back, as he starts closing, starts officially closing up the shop. I've made an early dinner. It should be in the fridge. I'll go get everything prepared. Farah should be fine. She's in her room.
And how was the little bundle of joy today?
All right, all things considered. I picked her up from daycare. Had to get one of the workers to. You know, when says workers, it's really just one teenager he hired, as the restaurant is almost entirely him.
And the two college kids he has working in the back cooking. Team of 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I had Shaco I had Shaka look after everything when I went to pick her up. Uh, he goes upstairs a little quiet now. It's a spiral stairway again. It's actually pretty nice. Your apartment's a little bit of a mess, but it's a decent size. It's able to fit three people or two, including a child. You never really have guests over, I imagine, but
Well, Arl might, but I don't have guests over.
yeah, whenever Arl does, he just gets the table set and everything. The kitchen, it's an apartment, so the kitchen and the living room are the same room, just one big room, and there's just about two bedrooms and a bathroom. It's not gigantic, but it's roomy enough, and it's bigger than most apartments. Bigger than any apartment Hunt's lived in, I imagine.
It's bigger than my officer's bunk.
Mm-hmm. Does the comfortable bed, is it hard to sleep on? I imagine, or for Hunt.
Yes.
Um, as you walk up, Arl's already setting up dinner. You see Farah in her little high chair. She's doodling something. You're not sure what at the moment. The stairway just goes straight essentially into the living room. It's not there's not exactly there's like a little hatch, I suppose, but that's about it. It's open right now.
I walk up to Farah and ruffle the top of her head.
Yeah, Farah giggles. She seems happy now that Hunt's here. She doesn't see her a lot during the day, and so she sort of like shows and goes like, mommy, look," and shows you her picture, and it's of Hunt's gym.
Which one of my gyms?
The sniper
The pic
custom.
the Yeah, because is it the pictures when I had a ground gym, or is it pictures when I had the sniper custom?
Yeah, it's one of her sniper custom. You can imagine from when she was on Bark Team, or maybe a little. And it's like
Very nice, Farah.
she nods. She nods and goes back to eating her own things. You see Arl sort of set the table and sit down. Hunt. Sorry, Jane. This is weird, right? Arl is usually a very, not a bubbly person per se, a little bit. But he's a very
Weird
joyous
vibes. I'm
person.
getting hella weird vibes.
Yeah, you're getting hella weird vibes. It's like Hunt's getting the when your mom says your full name vibes from Arl right now.
No, no. My thought is, it's come down. We need to talk.
Oh yes, exactly. Um, Farah's not really old enough to understand everything, and so he's not really worried. Some he sort of like wipes sweat from his brow. Some men came by today. By the store, the restaurant. They wore in black uniforms. They were asking for you. I'm not sure why. I didn't get the full details, but they insinuated that we'd be in danger. Hunt, what's going on at Reverend? What's going on with your work?
Workplace politics.
Hunt, they came to the restaurant. They who are these men? Who are you? What are you? Who are you talking to? What are you getting into? Is this is this about that organization you joined? He like lowers his voice, like covers his mouth. Is this about those Karba folk?
Cut out.
Oh, oh, sorry. What?
You said, "Is this about?" You didn't say the
Yeah.
organization name.
Is this about those karma folk?
No, if they knew about that, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Oh, God. He like rubs his temple. I I don't think you should be working there anymore. This we could be happy if you just this line of work. I'm afraid that it's going to interfere with Farah, with us, with our life here.
I think about what to say. It
He
already has interfered.
he sighs. I just I just hope it's worth it, is what I'm saying. I You're working longer hours, and I'm just worried. She doesn't see you a lot, and
That
I'm
hurts me a lot.
yeah, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I'm just that what happened today scared me. But it's not your fault. I'm going to I'm going to clean everything up. You get yourself to bed. I know you have a long day tomorrow. He takes his dish and goes to the dishwasher to wash it. Like
I
goes to the sink.
grab onto his shirt before
He
he
seemed
leaves. Just don't forget, I'm gesturing with my hand. Always have a suitcase ready.
he looks down. He nods. I have two packed. They're in the closet. You have yours in your car, correct?
Yeah.
He nods. Alright. Then he goes back to wash the dishes, puts Farah down. She sort of walks off, like hugs Hunt's leg. You see, Farah draws a lot. When you look at the fridge, you see a lot of photos of Hunt's old war buddies in her mobile suits. One's of her ground gym, one's of Palutro's thingamashit. Um, you see one, a recreation Farah did of the newspaper clipping with John Garmakov, Hunt, and the entirety of Bark team, and you see another of Hunt with a MS engineer on her ground gym. Everything's stapled on the fridge. It's mostly Hunt's photos or Farah's drawings. Arl doesn't really have anything. There's the wedding photo, but it's a little crooked now and in the background.
I take it in.
This is your life now. You don't know how much longer you can stay here. You don't know how much longer you can keep things up. You don't know if they're onto you, if anybody knows. But every day you just have to keep going. uh, you see far off in the distance. What does Hunt do now?
I go to my desk.
Mm-hmm. It's your office is probably one of the.
I bring up I bring up my computer and I get back to work on my memoir.
Okay. Closing interquill of Jane Bell Hunt. Fade to black. Okay.